Hey there, Mr. Leatherwood.
And Mrs. Weeks.
And today we're talking about multiplication again, kind of finishing our week in multiplication. Yeah. And we're doing partial products.
My favorite.
My favorite too, actually.
Look
it's very similar to the video we did on multiplying using arrays.
Yes, it
Extremely
is. You'll see
similar.
a lot of similarities there.
Okay, so let's start with a problem, and we had, here, we'll just do the one that we did on the other problem. Didn't we do 23 times 32?
We did.
So we use this one on the other one, 23 times 32. And so you can compare this to the other video and see the differences, I guess, and similarities. So we still need a box?
Yep, we absolutely do.
And you'll notice it's more of a square than a rectangle this time.
Right.
And there's a reason.
And we're not going to have as many pieces that we're going to break up.
Right. This is bothering me. Hold on. 2.
You're going to fix your 2.
It bothered me. I'd be watching the video as many times as I go back and watch these videos.
Yes.
Okay, so yes, breaking this down is going to be much different.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll let you explain why.
Well, because we're really going to be looking at place value.
Yes.
So there's more of a reason to break them apart. So we're really going to be looking, in this case, at 20 and 3 and 30 and 2. And that's the way we're going to build our box.
So we have a box.
We do.
And we're going to break it by the place value, like you said. So I can go ahead and do this.
You can go ahead and draw those lines.
For instance, 20 plus 3.
Right.
Because my tens place is 20 and my ones place is 3. And then over here I can do 30. Plus 2.
Very good job.
And you notice the rule still applies. If you see an addition symbol, I draw a line. Addition symbol, I draw a line. We just, instead of breaking it up like when we did arrays, for instance, here, 20 and 3 in arrays, we would have done 10 plus 10 plus 3.
Exactly.
So using partial products, you're just going to use place value. 20 plus 3, 30 plus 2.
Exactly.
And then we just start to multiply.
Right.
So 20 plus 30.
Which is still multiplying in your tens. You're going to know that you're going to have 2 zeros as part of the answer. And then really you're just multiplying 3 times 2, which everybody should be able to do.
There you go. So we get our 600.
Very good.
And then again, we're going to look at our 30 and come all the way over where these two meet.
Yeah, and we're multiplying a 10, so you know it's going to end in a 0. And 3 times 3 is 9, so we have our 90.
Okay. And then 20 times 2, because again, we're following these where they meet. And 20 times 2.
It's going to be our 40.
And then our last one, 2 times 3, is going to be 6.
And the only reason I say that I like this a lot is because we have fewer products to put together. But that doesn't mean that it works for everybody. That's why we give you the option of using the arrays and building it out larger if you need to and breaking it down even further. But this gives you fewer products to add up if that helps you at all. So this is why I like this one, but it doesn't mean it works for everybody.
Right. And you can see how this one, if you're not the best at addition, it could be more difficult. I mean, 600, having all those hundreds and tens when you were doing may be a lot easier. So in this case, we have 600 plus 90 plus 40 plus 6. And you can do that however you want. What would you do?
Well, because I'm gonna talk about how in mental math I think about this. I see the 600. I see the 90. The 90 only really needs 10 more to make another 100. So I would put the 90 plus 10 of the 40 together to make the 100. I know I sound more confusing, but then I know that that's 700. With the 30 left over, so that's 730 plus my 6, which would be 736.
All right.
But I know I may have blown people's mind by doing that.
Okay. That's okay.
So it's how you want to work it. So you could put the 10s together. You could add 90 plus 40, which would be your 130.
Okay.
Right? Okay. And then you could add that to your 600, which then is your 730, right? And then you know you have 6 more, so that's how you get your 736.
All right.
But again, it's what works for people. Some people can bend those numbers and manipulate them and make them work for them. And some people it's straightforward, and that's completely fine too. So.
Okay. Good.
Good.
I'll
I've
try
blown
You have. No, I think that's great, and I think that's a good strategy to use. And you know, taking from another group, for instance, you were taking from this group of 40 to make the 100.
Yeah.
It makes it a much easier number because as I was looking at this, I'm like, okay, 606, that's pretty easy. And then 90 and 40, I knew, you know, when I add with 90, it always.
Right.
It's or with a 9, for instance.
9s, yes.
It
Because you know it's the number is one line.
right.
No, well.
Yeah, and I have to go up, and
Right.
it makes it difficult. So I
Right.
like how you took 10 from here to make that an easy 100. So 600 plus 100, and leaving this. I like that. So let's try another. Give them another example.
All right.
All right, we'll go from there. Okay, so again, we got a little tricky here.
Yes.
144 times 22. So we did jump up to a 3-digit number by a 2-digit number. And so if you would, go ahead and pause the video and try this. Try to make your partial products. And remember, you want to break it down by place value. So you're in this case, you're going to have a hundreds place, a tens place, and a ones place for that 144.
Right.
And then for 20 and 2, or 22, excuse me, you're only going to have your tens place and your ones place.
Right. Exactly.
So go ahead and pause it, and then we'll come back and tell you how to do it.
Okay.
All right. So we need a box.
Yes, we do.
And this time it is going to kind of look like a
Yeah,
rectangle.
more of a rectangle because we're going to have that.
And you can go up and down. I'm going this way, you know, screen's kind of that way, you know, stuff like that. So I'm going to do 20 and 2 on the side. 20 plus 2 because I have a tens place and I have a ones place.
Perfect.
And then I have a hundreds place, tens place, and ones place over here. So I'm going to do 100 plus 40 plus 4. And I'm it's expanded notation. I'm just stretching it out.
Stretching those numbers out.
And so I have addition symbols. So I'm going to draw my lines here. My little rule.
Okay.
And then we just start to multiply.
Start to multiply.
Okay. Again, we're going to take this one, and we're going to go straight across, and every time it meets something, that's when we're going to multiply.
Okay.
So first one's 20 times 100.
So you get those 3 zeros and 2,000.
40 times 20, so we have 4 times 2 is 8, and then we have 2 zeros, 800. And then 4 times 2 is 8, and then with 1 0, 80.
Perfect.
And then we're going to go down to the 2. Same thing, we're just going across. So where these meet, we're going to multiply. Where these meet, and then where these meet.
Okay.
So we get 2 times 100, that's 200. 2 times 40, we get 80.
80.
Is that right? And then 2 times 4 is going to be 8.
Perfect. Look at all those 8s we got going on in there.
Hope you're good at your 8s. And then we just start adding.
That's
right? And I'm going to pick another color here. I see something that's going to be very helpful. For one, 2,000, we're good. 2,000.
We're good. We are.
So we can, you know, scratch it over here if you want. 800 and 200.
I know. I saw that too. And that's nice because we always tell them we want them to make tens, hundreds, and in this case, we made 1,000.
Nice little 1,000. So we can just add. And this over here, it's not necessarily an addition, you know, I'm not adding them up, going up and down or anything. I'm just kind of keeping track.
You have to keep track, yes.
Because ideally, you're looking almost mental math. I mean,
right, exactly. But sometimes it helps to keep track of what you've done. So.
And I look here, you could add all 3 of these together, but ideally, I think I see 80 and 80. And 8 plus 8, you know, kind of thing. So I get 160, and then we have that leftover 8. And so we add all that together. And again, this isn't, you're not adding up and down, just kind of adding 2,000.
But it's great because you look at that, you have thousands that you're putting together. So you know you have the 3,000. You only have 100 there, so 3,168.
3,168.
Beautiful.
There we go. Again, this is something you can practice. Make up your own numbers, have your parents make up numbers, have your siblings make up numbers, and just practice. And I just practice.
Find the way that works for you. But
Definitely.
let's see you do some of this because I think this is a great strategy to use.
Yeah.
So
My favorite.
my favorite.
All right. Have a good night.